Hello, this is Michael Halper with Sales Scripter, and in this video, we're going to talk about the sales objection of what is this in regards to. And the reason why we're going to talk about this is because this is one of the most common sales objections that you'll face when cold calling. And one of the main tools that gatekeepers use for screening out salespeople that are calling. Now, primarily when you face this objection, the main goal that the person has that's using this objection is they're trying to identify, are you a salesperson that's trying to sell something? When they say, what is this in regards to? While yes, that question implies, what are you calling about? More so, they're wanting to know, are you a general business person or are you a salesperson that is calling to try to sell something? Because if you are indeed a salesperson that's calling to try to get your foot in the door of the account and try to get in, and you are an outsider trying to work their way in, then that tells the gatekeeper that they should try to get rid of you. Not only should they try to get rid of you, but if they don't get rid of you, they might get in trouble if you get past them and get on the phone with the person that they are a gatekeeper for. And when you face this objection, if you were to honestly answer what the call is in regards to, then your honest answer may be something like, well, you're calling to introduce yourself and your company, or you're calling to schedule an appointment or a meeting with the prospect, or you're calling to learn about the prospect's needs and learn about them, or you're calling to share details about the product that you have to offer. And at the end of the day, the most honest answer is that you're trying to sell your product to that particular prospect. So these are all the honest and direct answers and responses to what is this call in regards to. And while I never recommend to be dishonest or to mislead a prospect or a customer, I recommend to not answer the question of what is this in regards to with any answer that's anywhere close to any of these. Because what that'll do is that will tell the gatekeeper or the prospect that you are a salesperson trying to sell something, and that will let them know that they need to get rid of you. So my first recommendation is to not respond with anything like this. And in this video, I'll tell you how to respond to what is this in regards to without being honest about why you're calling, but also not lying or misleading in any way. And before I show you how to respond to that, I just want to point out everything I'm talking about here today is explained in much more detail along with objection responses to many other objections in another video on our playlist, The Smart Sales System, Sell Smarter, Not Harder. There is a module for getting around sales objections, and we talk about all of the common sales objections in that video, such as I'm not interested, just send me your information, we already used someone today, and what is this in regards to? So be sure to check that out if you haven't seen that. And in that video, I go into more detail on the options that you have for handling the objections that you face as a salesperson. And your option 1 is to comply, option 2 is to try to overcome the objection, and option 3 is to try to deflect the objection. To comply is basically to give in with the objection. So if they say, I'm not interested, you say, okay. If they say, what is this in regards to? You would probably answer with your honest answer, such as, I'm trying to schedule a meeting. To overcome is to try to resolve the objection or change the prospect's mind. And to deflect the objection is to not really deal with it head on, and more so just to kind of bounce off of it and keep going, keep the call going. And this is how I recommend you deal with the what is this in regards to objection. So real simply here, I'm just going to tell you exactly how to respond to it. When you face the objection of what is this in regards to, instead of saying, well, I'm trying to schedule a meeting or introduce myself, simply reply with your value proposition. And that would look something like this. Well, the reason for my call is we help, and then insert your value proposition. For example, well, the reason for my call is I help sales professionals to get more leads when they're doing cold calling. Or I help sales trainers to teach their sales reps what to say and ask when they're prospecting. Now, after you say your value proposition, just stop talking. Just sit there and let the gatekeeper or the prospect speak next. And what they'll likely do is they might either let you in or they may ask you another question, but most likely they won't get rid of you immediately, which is what they would do if you respond with a response that makes you look like a salesperson trying to sell something. And the reason why is because this response does not provide the prospect or the gatekeeper with the clear confirmation that you're a salesperson selling something. So they won't know right away, okay, I need to get rid of this person. It almost functions sort of as a curveball. I'm not saying that this response necessarily wins over the other person to where you deliver your value proposition and they say, oh, that's what we need. I'm so glad you called me. I'm not saying that at all. More so, it's a curveball and they don't know how to deal with it. And with that, it keeps you alive. It deflects the objection. You bounce off of it, and most likely you keep going and the call keeps going. And I'm not going to say that this solves all your problems, but it gets you past that first challenge that you face of what is this in regards to. And at the end of the day, if you have a good value proposition, you know what? You might create a little curiosity. So let's talk about what this would look like actually on a cold call or in your cold call script. And by the way, you can also use this exact same objection response and approach for this other objection, which is this a sales call? Because a lot of the time, the reason why the prospect or gatekeeper asks, what is this in regards to, is because they're asking, is this a sales call in a different way? And so let's say that we're on a cold call and we just open the call with sort of our introduction and we just start talking to the prospect. And that's really where the what is this in regards to will come up. What we can do then is deliver our value proposition similar to what I just demonstrated, which is to say something like, well, the reason for my call is we work with sales trainers and we help to decrease their new hire ramp-up time. And I'm just going to stop there. And then it's the prospect or the gatekeeper's turn to speak. And then I'll deal with what they say with my next tactic. Now, one of the reasons why I'm showing you this graphic here is because what's interesting is that what we're saying here in our cold call script when we face this, what is this in regards to, is actually the exact same thing if we did not receive this objection. Let's say that we open the call and we say, hey, did I catch you in the middle of anything? And the prospect says, no, what do you got or what's up? We would say the exact same thing. Well, the reason for my call is we help sales trainers to make it easier to teach reps what to say and ask. So the real simple thing there is that we're saying the exact same thing, whether we open the call successfully or we face this objection of what is this in regards to, or is this a sales call, we're saying the exact same thing. So in other words, the tactic here is extremely easy to implement because there's really nothing different to do. Now, if you like that and you want to implement that tactic, the one thing that you do need to do is create your value proposition. And if you haven't done that already, we do provide a sales message brainstorming process to help you to brainstorm and create an attention-grabbing value proposition. So just to skip ahead to the middle of that brainstorming process, which is brainstorming your value, what you can do is look at the features of the product that you sell and think about, does this feature or does the way my product is different, does that help to make something work better, make something easier, decrease the time it takes to do something, improve revenue or income, decrease costs or expenses, improve product quality, decrease the risk of something bad happening, improve visibility or access to information. Those are very common ways that most product or services help the prospects that we sell to. So look at each of those common ways and think, does my product help in any of those areas? And if it does, then compose a few thoughts or words around the improvements that you can help to deliver. And then when you have those improvements, that's basically your value proposition. And then that can become your answer for what is this in regards to. So if you haven't watched our video on how to go through these steps and create your sales message, I'll include a link to that in the description. But once you go through that process, each of those steps actually gives you what we would call building blocks, and you can then use those building blocks for your cold call script, and that cold call script will then give you your response for the objection of what is this in regards to. Now, one last thought, we actually do have a tool to help you to role play and practice your objection responses to the objection of what is this in regards to, as well as many of the other common objections like I'm not interested, send me your information, we don't have budget right now. And this role play tool actually allows you to deliver your objection responses with an AI-based prospect and allow you to practice so that you can be extremely prepared and warmed up when you're making your calls and talking to prospects. So I'll include a link to that tool in the description below as well, because you can actually try this role play tool for free with our 7-day free trial. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully that gives you a tip or two that can help you to improve your objection handling and your ability to get around the what is this in regards to sales objection. If that does help you and you want to return the favor, very easy for you to do. All you have to do is like, comment, share this video, subscribe to our channel. Any of those help us and none of those cost you anything. If you like these tips, you may want to follow us on any of these social platforms. We post daily sales tips. If you like this and you want more, everything that I've shared with you here today is part of the SMART sales system. SMART stands for sales messaging and response tactics. And as you can see, in order to create that response for what is this in regards to, it starts with creating your sales message, which takes you through the process to create your value proposition. And then when you have your value proposition, you have your objection response. And we call it a system because it's a step-by-step system that you can actually implement. And the foundation of the system is to create that sales message. And then once you have that, you can move to level 2, which is creating your objection responses or creating your cold call script. And once you have all that, you're ready to make your calls and talk to prospects and perform at a higher level. And that's all level 3. And that's kind of the how-to. So I showed you we have an objection handling module. That's part of level 3. We also have a cold calling module. That's part of level 3. And the good news is that if you want to implement and learn the SMART sales system, you can do it all for free because it's all on YouTube. All you have to do is go to that same playlist, the SMART sales system, Sell Smarter, Not Harder, and there's a video that will take you through every step. Now, we give away our full training methodology on YouTube for free because all of this aligns with the product that we do sell called Sales Scripter. Sales Scripter aligns with level 1. For example, level 1 was to create your sales message. There's an area of Sales Scripter called the Sales Message Builder, which will take you through that process step by step, making that process much easier. And once you have your sales message inside of Sales Scripter aligns with level 2, providing a feature called a Sales Playbook, which is a library of sales scripts and email templates, and those fill in with your sales message. And that's how you end up with a custom tailored library of sales scripts and email messages tailored to your product, your service, your industry, your target prospects. And certainly the software aligns with level 3, helping you with execution, providing full CRM, email automation, role play software, and all sorts of other prospecting tools. And the upgrade from there is certainly I'm available to help on a consulting basis. I can help you with all of these levels. The most common consulting package that customers purchase is a 2-hour coaching block with me where I go through level 1 with them and help them to brainstorm their sales message. So we work together to create a very clear, attention-grabbing sales message, brainstorming the optimum benefits and pain points and questions to ask. If that's interesting, but you still don't know what to do next, you may want to check out my book, The SMART Sales System, Sell Smarter, Not Harder, and you can get a copy on Amazon here. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. That's pretty much it. If you want more information, the best place to go is salescripter.com. If you want more tips, there are tons of videos. There are also ebooks that you can download for free. If you want more information on the product of Sales Scripter, there are plenty of demo videos that show you all the different features of the software. If you want to contact us, this is the best place to go. You can get our phone number, email address. There's a chat window as well. Thanks for being here. Hope this was helpful, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.